Welcome back. It has been described as an incredibly difficult call, gutsy, risky, and bold. President Obama's decision to fly a team of Navy SEALs into Pakistan to hunt down Osama bin Laden. This now is a historic picture snapped in the White House Situation Room. The Commander-in-Chief and his national security team receiving real-time updates as the raid happened and as bin Laden was killed. So what does it feel like to be in that atmosphere inside the Situation Room? And what does it take to pull off this type of special operation? Well, joining me tonight is someone who's familiar with both experiences, Navy Lieutenant Commander Tom Croci. He served as senior duty officer in the White House Situation Room for 2 years under President Bush, and the Suffolk County, he lives here in Suffolk County, and he also provided intel to Navy SEAL teams in Afghanistan during 2 tours of duty. So thank you very much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Just talk about what it's like to be inside that room and what it's really used for.
It started out as a very small operations center during the Kennedy administration, shortly after the Bay of Pigs, and morphed into a full operations center designed to support the President of the United States and his national security team at the White House to make sure that the information that our government produces, all of the intelligence, gets to the President in a timely fashion so they can make good decisions.
Why do they need a specific room like this?
Well, our government is very large, our intelligence community,
right.
They produce a lot of information, so they need to push it to a place where then you can have eyes on that information to know what the President, his national security team all want to see. And that way it gets up to them in a timely fashion.
When we look at those photos that were snapped inside there, of course this is President Bush, the administration
yes.
that you worked under, but when we look at the photos of President Obama during this particular operation, I mean, you can just see the tension on everyone's face
sure.
inside there. And I assume it's almost palpable when you're in the room as well, which you have been.
Sure, it's a place where very big decisions are made. So there's obviously going to be a great deal of involvement by all of the members of the administration, the President's team, in making those decisions and ensuring that that advice is getting to the President in a timely fashion. So sometimes it's tense, and sometimes there are good days there too. So.
I'm sure. Well, when you talk about the real-time updates that the President and his team were receiving,
yes.
You know, it almost sounds like a sci-fi movie. You think
right.
back to like Patriot games a few decades back, but this is relatively new technology
sure.
that they're using. What kind of technology is it?
Well, I'll tell you, it's always better in the movies. So
it's not as exciting as we imagine it to be.
Right. Listen, the Situation Room that President Bush redesigned has state-of-the-art technology. One of his frustrations after 9/11 was that he wasn't able to get the kind of information through the Situation Room on that terrible day. So he ordered its redesign and reconstruction, which we presided over while we were there. And the President of the United States now has the ability to use all of the latest information and technology to make sure that it comes to him in the kind of package he needs.
When we watch his national security team and the President watching these real-time updates,
right.
Are they making on-the-spot command decisions, or has that already been made and they are just watching them carried out at that point, or does it depend on the situation?
It really would depend on the situation. But again, we have a civilian head of our military as a Commander-in-Chief. The President is one of his roles, and then he has a Secretary of Defense, and then the chain of command goes down. So it's whatever the President decided who would be the authority during that situation would be who was actually in tactical control.
Now, you worked in intelligence, and
yes,
the Navy SEALs are getting a lot of credit, of course, for the incredible mission that they accomplished here, but I can only imagine the team that works behind them and the intelligence that they needed in order for a mission like this to happen.
Absolutely, it's many years in the making, a success like this, and let me start by saying that they are extraordinary gentlemen that go out there and become SEALs. It takes a lot of training, it takes a lot of dedication, and we're very fortunate to have them. With that being said, the team behind them that supports them works very aggressively to make sure that when they go out the door, they have the very best intelligence our government has, and that they come back alive.
The intelligence here was so crucial on a mission like
Absolutely.
This that seems so risky.
Yeah.
Can you just give us an idea of the breadth or how many people were involved? I mean, besides this team that physically went in there, how many different agencies, how many different
Yeah, you're talking about the entire breadth and depth of the intelligence community since 9/11, when we recommitted ourselves and refocused ourselves at this new enemy. So I would say that it's taken many years to arrive at this occasion, and a nugget of information that we may have gleaned back in 2002 or 3, which was insignificant, became very important in recent months.
Well, before I let you go, I just have to ask, when you told people that you were working in the Situation Room, did anyone ever confuse your boss for Wolf Blitzer?
No, I haven't had that. We never had that problem.
Yeah, luckily that's a fairly new show, I assume.
That's right. But we got a kick out of that.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Navy Lieutenant Commander Tom Croci, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you in the days and months to come as we get more information about what happened.
It's a pleasure, Lauren.
Thank you very much. And stay with us, because coming up, Bill has another check of our 7-day hyperlocal forecast. And stopping your iPhone from tracking your every move, the fix you can make right now. Also, a royal visit to the White House, the Prince and the President's meeting. We'll be back.